Hey everybody, Big Toad here. Today I'm going to do a quick review of the new Sienna Plein Air Palette box that I just got in. I paid $138 for this on Amazon plus shipping. I haven't used it yet, haven't unboxed it yet, so we'll take a look at it, see how the shipping is, see how it compares to what we read online, and see how it compares to the images we have. I mean, it's a fairly nice looking item online. At the end of the video, I will put it on a tripod to see how stable it is. And this is going to be a part of my new plein air system I'm setting up. So I won't actually be painting anything during this review. But once I get my whole system set up, we'll do a review of everything combined and see how the system works. All right, with that said, let's get to it and let's unbox this item.
All right, so here's how the item came packed from Amazon. I did go ahead and cut it open when I received it on the porch because, well, I wanted to make sure it was the right item. So see how they packaged it from Amazon. Some paper in there to keep it from sliding around. Not much else. I don't know. And here's the box. I don't know. Amazon could have done a better job of packaging it. Maybe something on the top or on the bottom to keep it, because there is, tempered glass in there. But all in all, it came in good shape. So I did spin the box around and make sure I understood what I was looking at here. So here we have it, the Sienna Plein Air Palette box. Just the one I showed you on Amazon. And so let's go ahead and open this thing up. Okay, here we go. Flip it open. And here we have the package and the box. We'll set the box aside. And it comes bubble wrapped. And we slide it out of the bubble wrap. Here's some, see if we can get it to where you can see it in the light. Palette box instructions. And we'll take a look at those here in a minute. It's just one page, and so you can see the instructions. Pop it open, pretty self-explanatory. Stick it on the tripod, which I will do here in a minute. Set it up. You got over whatever your easel is on top, which I will be doing a box opening and a review of my new easel top when I get that in. It's going to go on top of my tripod. And I don't have the optional pastel insert grid, but and I don't have the optional watercolor palette, just for oil. So basically, this is what I've got, and I will put it on my tripod as such. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at it. So first look, Sienna Plein Air. Exterior, piano hinge, small, recessed in. It's to keep low profile. It is not all the way recessed, but it recessed in some, enough to where I'm sure when we flip this open, it'll lay flat against here. So we'll have a nice flat top. These little knobbies slide back in to adjust for our tripod. They're plastic, but they're heavy duty plastic, metal. Though, so if these plastic ones break or you get lost, I can pick up a big wing nut probably at a Home Depot or something like that if I lose those. So it'd be nice to keep them, and that's what my goal is. But you know how it is when you get out plein air, drop something in the grass and the dirt, and you're liable to lose it. All right, this metal thing here, it's a latch. Looks like it keeps the doors from popping open. So that's going to fit really nicely into my backpack, which is what I was looking for, is a palette that was low profile, not a lot, because all my other gear, rather than store it inside the box, I can put it in my backpack. So it gives me some flexibility for how and where I use it. And I'm not limited to the supplies I carry in the box. But all right. Let's open this up and see what we get in here. Okay. So there we have it. We have both sides, and they do set flat because of how they've recessed those hinges. So you get a nice flat shelf. It's strong enough to hold all your paintbrushes and maybe a little tubs of your your thinner, your whatever other medium you're using. And then here we have a little brass hook. Well, what a bonus item. A little brass hook. I don't know if I saw that in the description. But that goes over the edge. So I got a place now to hang my handy spirits or medium cleaner, brush cleaner right off of there, which is important. So, and I can just lay that in there when I'm not using it. So set that aside for a moment. All right, so let's look. Yeah, we had the glass palette, and it's nailed in here from, this one comes loose. How about that? Now that's awesome. This one comes loose with a little magnet. I did not know that. And so it just snaps right back into place with the magnet. So, and it's pretty solid. The bonus of that is this one here is nailed in. I can see the little nails. Put my finger in there and I can pull this out. And so I could get this replaced if this was to break. I could go down and get a piece of tempered glass cut at a local glass cutter if I needed to replace this. I can go in here and lay coloring underneath. If I don't like the wooden background for the palette, I could go in there and lay a gray, a toned gray to give me the effect I'm after, and snap that right back into place. So that's pretty handy. You can see here the recesses here for the slide. I'll loosen that up a little bit more so you can see how those work. Nice brass fitting fixture. Keeps it from moving too far over. I do see a pin in here. If a guy was really handy and he wanted to lower it on his tripod, I could figure out how to do that by moving that little wooden pin that's back there over, drilling a new hole and setting it in there, and then I could make it go wider. That'd be something I might do if I needed it to go wider, but it's not necessary to make this work. I think you could probably over tighten these really quick, so don't over tighten those too much. It's nice metal. In fact, I even know what I would use to replace that. That right there. I'm going to pull that off of there because I'm going to show you in case you ever get out there and this one breaks after you get this. And pull this completely off. This is this wood. If I wanted to make it go a little wider, I could move that. I could move that peg over. Probably just cut this one off. Move that peg over and drill a hole and put a new peg in there. A little wood glue. That's something that somebody who's crafty could do and get a little more width because that stops it from coming out too far. But you could come out farther. This here, you think, oh, that's a really fancy. What happens if I lose that or that comes broken or something like that? Well, that's actually that's actually a toilet bowl flange. When you set your toilet, when a plumber sets your toilet bowl in there, they've got a flange that sits down in the floor, and when they use one of these types of almost exactly like this. In fact, if it's not the same, I'd be surprised. But if it's not, you can always get somebody to grind it down to make the same shape so it slides in there nice. But anyway, that's what you use to connect your toilet bowl because it puts in the slot and it turns, and now it won't pull out. So it puts in the slot, you slide it over, and then it won't pull out. And so that's how you set a toilet bowl, is with a very similar bolt. So if that breaks, never fear. Head down and take it with you and see if you can't find a one of those at Lowe's, Home Depot, Ace Hardware, whatever, and you can replace it. Like I said, if this breaks, take your bolt down there, and they can get you a nice big wing nut to go right on there and be all metal and not a big deal. All right, I'm going to put that back on. Okay, so that's what we got so far. I think it's overall it's pretty nice quality. I mean, the way the wood is joined, it's not cheap as far as it is joined with a notch. So that means that the wood slides together. It's got lots of extra room for glue. So in my past, this is actually not only my paint shop, but it's also my wood shop. I do woodworking for fun. Have been a cabinet maker in the past. So yeah, I know that this is a nice box. Here, I'll show you. just so you know, I'm not playing around when knowing how to do wood. See that? That's the same kind of notch, only a lot bigger. And they put that in here. I made this box and I notched these myself. And all this is for holding assorted drill bits. And so I got all my drill bits in here. But anyway, so that's a really nice way to attach. This is like overkill for a drill bit box, but I wanted to make something nice. So for fun, that's just out of cheap wood. But anyway, so that's how these are notched. So that's kind of it's a nice feature. Easy to do in a factory though. Nobody did that by hand. I did mine by hand. Alrighty, so I'm liking that pretty much. Bring in my tripod. I'm not going to set it up full bore on the ground, but here's my tripod. Just a simple, normal, everyday little tripod. I actually, just as a new one I just got off of Amazon. Get good reviews. Jolly can. Nothing special. Pretty inexpensive. I think about 70 bucks. But, you know, if I don't use it, if I decide it's not big enough or strong enough for my easel, then I will use it for recording videos and such in the field. I'll find something else to do with it. But anyhow, it's not too bad. It's lightweight. It feels good. So the simple part of making this work is I'm just going to set this right on my tripod. All right. So again, I'm going to take both of these. I'm going to slide them all the way out because I'm already looking at it and I can tell that I'm going to need to slide it all the way out to get the right fit. It does have these soft handle squishy things here, which are nice, but that's actually not a bad thing. It's going to make this fit snug in there when I do that. So all I do is set it down like that, push it down snugly. And of course it won't tip over because I'll have the legs extended and such. And so there we have it. Now I would say this is pretty steady. It goes up and down, but it's going to sit like this. Now, how strong is it? How well will it hold that? I think it should be fine. This is a big piece of wood here. So that's a 3/4 inch piece of wood there. And it's only recessed in about an 1/8 inch. And that bolt's going to hold. The bolt's going to hold. This block here should be more than adequate to hold. I don't know, maybe I could see some damage happening to that block at some point. That might be a point of weakness. The other point of weakness would be is if this pulled through. I don't think that's going to happen. More likely, if you push too much pressure on this, it's going to have multiple breakage areas where it's going to get weak. It'll get weak in these. Maybe maybe that piece of wood will give out. I could probably, though, add something to that to make it stronger if I needed to, but I don't think I need to. I think for average work, I think it's going to be fine for, you know, for getting on there with my my paints in there. And, you know, palette, I think I've got everything I need there. I think I got room for my brushes, you know, with the shelving on both sides. So yeah, I think all in all, I'm pleased with how it looks. I'm going to take this off the tripod, take it off with one hand and set it aside. It's not that big a deal. What I also like about this is I live up in right on the edge of the mountains in Idaho. So within an hour, well, probably quicker than that, I can be up several thousand feet into the mountains and I can enjoy. So if I go out, especially in the spring or the fall or winter, I go out and want to do some painting. If it gets to where it's just too bad outside, I can sit in the passenger seat of my truck, flip this open, and this would rest really well on my lap, and I would have everything I need right here to paint with. You know, maybe stick my my medium jar or my thinner jar in my cup holder, and maybe come up with a unique way to hold my palette, or excuse me, my canvas when I'm painting. I usually paint small plein air, so not a big deal. And I can figure, so maybe I can actually mount something in here that I could use to lean my canvas against my board while I'm painting in my truck. So I think that that's one of the things I kind of had in mind. It might serve two purposes: to go out plein air with all my stuff, and if I can't get out, it's not too large. I still have access to sit in my vehicle and use this. So that's my thoughts. And right now, first reaction is I think it's going to work. I think it's exactly what I'm looking for. But I think this will work. I think this will get the job done. And to work on the smaller paintings out in the plein air with a light tool. That's what I was after. Okay, this is the Big Toad, and I am out.